Hello, everyone. Welcome to the I Will Aim podcast, and I'm your host, Will Lukang. Our topic for today is Healing Workshop with Mega Bajad. In this episode, we'll learn how to use Healing Workshop to attain joy in your life. Let me give an introduction about Mega. Mega is a national best-selling author, an author mentor, a film scriptwriter, and an ardent seeker. Her blockbuster bestsellers include The Breakthrough in 2020, Happiness in the Age of Ambition in 2020, two books in 2020, very impressive. Thank You Cancer 2019, 2009, I Inspire 2015. Mega has a significant following on social media with close to 40,000 seekers from various different parts of the world connecting to her words and insight on a daily basis. Welcome, Mega.
Thank you so much, Will. Truly a pleasure to be here.
Really appreciate your time today. Let's start with the first question. Can you share a little bit about your journey?
My journey has been one of discovering and rediscovering love in my life. I think love has been a very potent and dominant emotion for me right from childhood. And everything that happened, every experience has only reiterated to me that if love cannot, nothing else can, and love can. So I think my predominant journey of life has been about finding love in myself and in other people, and the books or the films that I will do or the workshops that I do conduct or everything is just an expression of that deep love that I feel within myself.
Well, thank you for sharing that background. Love is indeed very powerful. Let's go to the next segment. I want to do a shout out. I want to dedicate this episode to Sam Lu, a peers of mine that I worked with for a couple of years. Really had a good relationship with him. So I want to dedicate this episode to Sam Lu. Who do you want to dedicate this episode to?
I want to dedicate this episode to my late mother. And I think I really understood a lot about love and life through her. So my shout out goes to my mom.
Thank you for sharing your shout out. Let me go to the very important question. What inspired you to combine writing and healing in your workshop?
Um, I think writing itself is very healing, Will, because in a day an average human mind has 60,000 thoughts. Okay, and that's a lot of pressure, and that's a lot of energy draining activity that the mind keeps going through. I think the moment we write, we kind of streamline, or we kind of understand what is it that we're thinking all day. So for me, the very act of writing is actually an act of awareness, because it makes me know what I'm actually thinking. Also, scientifically, well, when we write, it unites the left and the right brain, and it actually
Mm.
makes it whole. So when we write, we feel a lot more clearer, we feel a lot more empowered, we feel a lot more sorted in our head, because scientifically our left and right brain has become one. So it's a very beautiful process, and I felt that these two things had to be brought together, because I was experiencing a lot of magic of it in my own life, that whenever I went through any experience, very positive or very negative, and when I wrote about it, it always if it was negative, it helped me release it, and if it was positive, it helped me to amplify it. So I could see that writing was a very powerful tool, and I wanted to take it to many more.
It's like writing allows you to turn your thoughts to physical form and allow
Abs-
you to interact with it, right? I think, wow, I really love that perspective. Can you
Absolutely.
share a memorable story from maybe your workshop or the work that you do that contribute to someone's healing journey?
Absolutely. So I had a neighbor who was 60 plus years of age, and she had heart issues, and she had to go through a heart, angioplasty. And her doctor said that, now you just have to kind of rest it out, and there's not much you can do, and you just rest it. And she happened to meet me, and she was like, Megha, I feel very dull and I feel very depressed because I'm going through this, and I can't even do anything. All I can do is rest. So I just told her, I was like, since you're anyway resting, why don't you write? Because that can be very powerful. So she started using that rest time that she was given to write. Initially it was just like snippets and articles and short stories and poem. Over time, Will, it grew into such a beautiful book, so she released a book of poetry. And she says, in the book launch, she asked me to come for her as a chief guest. And she was like, literally a woman who was told that all you can do is rest and not very positive prognosis. Today I'm writing a book. I've come alive. I feel like I've almost become 20 years younger, and I feel like I found a purpose, So I could see clearly that she had literally healed herself. What could have been a very depressing low period ended up becoming a period of complete transformation because of writing. And she's just kept at it, and now she's written 4 books. I think it's commendable and won awards, and she feels that wow gave her a new lease on life. So to me, that was one of those incidents that really touched me very deeply.
Wow, that's very impressive. You made an impact in her life. You turned a moment of sadness to a moment of joy and opportunity, and in fact, a moment of growth. Right? Thank you for
Absolutely.
sharing that. Now, I want to delve more about the structure of your writing and the structure of your healing workshop. Can you give my audience a perspective how you structure a writing workshop and also how you structure a healing workshop?
Sure. So I have like different programs for people, and I tend to really customize it for them in terms of there's some people who come to me saying we just want to know who we are better. There's some people who tell me we want to write a book. There's some people who come and say we're just joining because someone told us we don't know what we're here for. So I think it's difficult to say one size fits it all, which is why like say a master class or all of this, it's already out there and you have to go and you have to fit yourself in. Whereas here I fit myself to people. And I think what difference it makes or the way I structure it is I really go as per your need. So if suppose Will wants to write a book about all his experiences of podcast, I would completely customize it to you and say, okay, Will, we need these many weeks and let's come up with this book. And I would work on you with your writing, your editing, help you with publishing and also post publishing. Because I think, Will, when you finish writing the book is actually when the whole journey starts. So I help a lot of people to find how they can even put their work out there, how they can grow a complete community around their book. I think that excites me a lot. So I would just say that the workshop structures itself around a person's particular need, and then within that there are different categories. Like you could join for 11 weeks, you could join for um, 25 weeks and so on. But the beautiful thing has been that even after all the levels are done, people tell me, look, we don't want to stop writing. So we keep going on, and every week, the way you do a yoga class or the way you do so people just keep doing their wow class, and they feel that that's their mind and emotional yoga, so that's what they kind of come to me for.
What's really impressive is the way you structure a program. Usually, certain people have a structured program and everyone needs to fit into that program. In your
Yes.
program, it's the opposite. You said,
Yes.
okay, I have a structure, but I'll fit into how I see you work and develop.
Absolutely.
Really amazing. That's why a lot of people come back to you and want to continue to work with you. That's an impressive one. The next question, when you're working with people, how do you create this safe and supporting environment for participants to express their deep emotion?
I think one of the biggest thing for me, Will, is trust. And that's not been now, it's been from a very long time. Because when I had my first experience of betrayal and what it did to me, okay, I it really shattered me. And I'm a very emotional person as a writer. I'm very sensitive to myself, to people around me, to the environment. And I literally remember promising myself that, okay, so someone broke my trust and I feel really, really horrible. But let me never be that person to anyone else. So it was literally like a promise or a commitment to myself. So I think the way I come across itself to people, they naturally feel that they can be themselves and they know, that I wouldn't break their trust. I think with healing, so much of work happens on a very intangible plane. It's not only what you see and feel, it's so much about what you feel. So I think when you come into that atmosphere, you automatically start feeling here's someone, whatever we say, it's not going to be held against us. She won't judge us and she's not going to talk about it to anyone. So I think there's that safety factor which is very intangible, because I could tell you that, oh, please feel safe with me, but that may not work. But when you're in that energy and you just feel safe by yourself, I think it just helps, you to open up. And indeed, will people share some of their deepest emotions with me, and it's actually a very humbling experience, because I've realized that, what we used to do with our families, like we used to think that family was that safe space where all of us could be ourselves. But for a lot of people, that's no longer true. And they crave for a space where they can be themselves, where they can be heard. This sentence where you're not held against yourself no matter what you do. So I think I just try my best in Wow to provide that space for people, and it's beautiful. So I've had like a gentleman who's, the president of one of the biggest banks in, Australia, and he broke down in one of my sessions, and he cried, and he was like, it's been several years since I've cried, but I feel safe enough to express these tears to you. So I felt beautiful about it, because I realized that there's so many of us who feel like, where can we go and laugh, or where can we go and cry where we won't be judged? And I wish to provide that space to them.
Wow, that's really very strong and profound, right? For you to have an impact to your client's life and for them to feel the safety, for you to for them to allow them to be themselves, right? Being
Absolutely.
seen and heard, it's so powerful. Thank you for sharing that. Can you discuss a bit about the creativity in creating the writing and the healing workshop?
I think the creativity comes a lot from daily life rather than, something very abstract. So, for instance, I would tell someone that, tell me of one of the most profound moments that happened in your week, this week. So I send them a session on Monday, and I tell them, send it back to me by Sunday. So what I've seen people doing is, the whole week they actually start observing themselves. They start watching out for, so seeing the extraordinary in the ordinary. So I don't think creativity is just about showing them abstract art or movies or books. It's about finding something very beautiful and extraordinary in the ordinary. So I keep tuning them to their own day, their own week, and saying that, what was the most beautiful moment you had this week? So I think that automatically brings their creativity, and they keep looking for it. They keep watching out for something beautiful to happen to them. So I think that's the way I keep working on themselves. And to me, creativity is not about the abstract, it's about seeing the extraordinary in the ordinary. So that's what I promote.
I love the simplicity of the way you put it together, where it's more on an awareness, right? It's more on that opportunity for you to reflect and create that moment too, in many ways, because when you're looking for it, you find it. When you're not looking
Absolutely.
for it, you don't really find it. My next question for you is, what's your advice for someone who wants to start writing? Where do they start and how do they get going?
I think the only way to start writing is to start writing. So, it's like people say, like, I want to swim, I want to swim. The only way you can actually swim is by jumping in, right? The only way you can actually learn driving is by getting into the driver's seat. So, I feel that there's this huge block that people have, that only some people can write, or you have to be very creative, or you have to have very good language to be able to write. I actually think anyone who thinks, or anyone who has something to say, should write, because it just makes so much of a difference to your own thinking process. It crystallizes your thought into words and makes it real in front of you. So I would just tell everyone that, don't wait for some big epiphany to happen to you, or a eureka moment. Take that paper, take that pen, and write. And yes, I'm a very big promoter of paper and pen versus even the laptop. I think when we were children and when we were going to school, most of us are used to only writing with paper and pen. So it naturally creates something within us to be able to write. So I would really tell people that, rather than even a laptop, just sit in your space, take a paper and a pen, and even just begin with, like, what am I feeling right now? Put it on top, and whatever flows, that's your answer, and see where you can develop that from. And to tell you, Will, you introduced me as this big national best-selling author, etc. I began writing on my terrace. I used to bunk school. I used to sit on my terrace. I would take my school notebook and just scribble. So, from a scribbler, if I could go on to becoming a national best-selling author, I would really tell everyone that start scribbling. You never know what's going to come out of it.
So inspiring. I think even the way you describe it, you're very humble and you're a national best-selling author. Obviously, they have the talent, but also I love the fact that you have that capability to draw something out of people. Like you said, even just take a piece of paper, a notepad, and scribble like what are you feeling right now. That is simple yet powerful because that draws you to reflect on what you're feeling today, and a lot of
Absolutely.
times emotion brings forth a lot of the information that you want to write for. Wow,
Yes.
very 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 powerful. Thank you for sharing that. A lot of times people ask about impact of the things that you do. How do you measure your impact as a writer coach or writer mentor, and also as a person who create healing workshop? When someone said, "What's the impact you create?" How do you quantify and qualify that?
To be very honest, there was a time where for me, impact was only about how many people joined my workshop. Okay, like it was very much over about the quantity, like saying that, oh, today 10 people joined and it's so great and wow, awesome, awesome, great. I think as I grew and as I have been evolving as a person, for me, the word impact has become a lot more deeper. And today it's no longer, though it's also about how many number. I wouldn't say that, I'm a naturally abundant minded person. So I like numbers and I like good things to come, in force.
Right.
But I think honestly, knowing that I've touched someone's life in a very profound way, there is a sweetness. I don't know how to even say it. Like in Hindi, there is a word called mithi neend. Basically, it says sweet sleep. So when you sleep, you feel this very sense of sweetness that the day was so beautiful. It was so worth it. You made that difference to someone. So for me, I think impact is about the quantity, and I would always want a lot more people, benefiting. But I think the actual sweet sleep comes when you know that someone's life has been changed forever. And I love that sweet sleep, Will. I wish I get that sweet sleep every night. So, yeah.
As you were telling that passage, I was reflecting on the story that you just told a few minutes ago. That woman who looked to resting as a bad thing, and you inspire her to write poems, and it start from writing poem and to the point where she was able to release 4 books. Right? You mentioned 4 books, and she invited you, and I think that in itself is it's one of the greatest gift as a mentor and a coach to have someone share that story about your impact to them when you probably at that moment was trying to kind of help them get going, but it becomes a lifelong impact. Wow,
It
that's
does.
super impressive. We talk about a lot about writing and we talk about healing workshop. If there's 3 takeaway for this episode that you want people to remember, what are those 3 takeaway?
I think the first is that everyone can write. Begin with scribbling. Take a notepad, just write what are you feeling. Write a letter to someone you love. Don't type it on WhatsApp. Do it as a letter. And you'll realize that it really does change something in you. And you feel so empowered to see, your thoughts crystallize into words on paper. So I think that's the first, that please write, and everyone can write. I think the second that I would want to tell everyone is that you know find workshops or find mentors where they will customize themselves to you, because getting so many people or getting the whole world to customize to your structure is like you changing their natural self or what they want. And I personally feel that a good mentor or a good guide would be able to structure or customize themselves to the others needs. So you have to be very fluid to be a good mentor, and I think that's important. So please find mentors who can do that for you. And I think the third that I would just like to share is that writing can be extremely healing and very, very cathartic. So, if you can, whatever emotions you're going through right now, personally, professionally, spiritually, if you can use the power of words to kind of heal yourself, because everything said and done, there's still a lot of taboo, especially in India, about going to a counselor or going to a therapist or whatever. And I think we all need help at some point. And if you can befriend words and use them to amplify your voice and to heal your inner emotions, I think it becomes your best friend within your own reach, unconditionally there for you whenever you need it. And I think we all need it at this point of our lives. So, everything's taken over by technology. So we all need something to go back to. And I think words can really become that. So I think those are the three takeaways, Will.
I think that I love the second point and third point. The second point is a mentor who would adapt to your situation. That's immensely powerful. Like I said, a lot of times people talk about them having a structure and you fit into the structure, and that doesn't work for everyone. And the last part too, using writing as a way of healing yourself, using writing, who, like you said, has given you unconditional love. You could write anytime you want. No one could stop you, and therefore it's always there for you. It's a vehicle for you to get what's on your chest off, and also express your thought that you could share with the world. You could choose to share, and you could choose not to share. Wow, so powerful. I want to give you an opportunity actually to share the work that you're doing, how people could reach out to you, what projects do you have right now, and if you have any event, feel free to share that with my audience too.
Sure, Will. So, my website's www.meghabajajwow.com, which is www.megha, Bajaj, B-A-J-A-J, wow, W-O-W.com. And all from there, you can reach my Instagram and my Facebook and LinkedIn, everything. So I mean, connect in whatever way. If you feel you want to write, connect. If you feel you have an idea worth sharing, connect. Whatever it is, if you like this episode, connect. But I like connections. I like heartfelt connections. So please connect and let me know who you are and what you do and how we could collaborate to create a more beautiful world. And Will, on that, I just want to say that you've inspired me so much because you just do these podcasts for the love of it, and you do this because you want to connect people. And you told me I'm the third Indian that you're interviewing, so I'm just so, I felt so humbled and so honored that you do this for the love of it and not for any other reason. And now you've created a complete community, so that inspires me a lot, and I wish to do a lot more of this.
Thank you. That's so kind of you. First of all, I want to thank you for your time. To have a blockbuster writer to be on my podcast is truly a blessing. Like you said, by stretching outside of my comfort zone, I was able to meet a lot of great speaker, inspiring writer, TEDx speaker, and world class athlete. I wouldn't have that opportunity if I didn't stretch outside my comfort. So I'm really truly thankful. I also want to thank you for your time. I know you're very busy, and thank you for your time to be on my episode today. I'm sure my audience would really love this material because of all the insights that you shared. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Will.